Welcome to Speaker's Corner. Today it was Monarchists versus Republicans. Enjoy the vid that's about to come up. We've got some good highlights for you. All right, Peter FitzSimons to bring us home. Here we go. Can we hear it for him, please?
Okay, so thank you. I just want to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land, their elders past and present, and bring them good news. We are on our way to becoming a republic, and in 4 or 5 years' time, somewhere thereabouts, on the day we become a republic, it will be a signal to ourselves as a people and to the world that this nation hasn't been here for 125 years. We haven't been here for 200 years. We haven't been here for 250 years. Our people, we have been here for 65,000 years. We are a cohesive whole. We're one people running our own show. I want to say congratulations. I take a lot of heart from the negative about you three, because you three are way too intelligent to seriously stay with your position. And I invite you to listen to what I've got to say, and then afterwards we'll have the debate on who won, but then come over to our side and talk to us, because our position is base level. I am, you are, we are Australians. And our position is very simple. It is ridiculous. It is embarrassing to maintain that 120 years after Federation, 250 years after Cook got here, to maintain that we as a people can't run our own show. The hallmark of a nation, you run your own show. The hallmark of a colony is that your political infrastructure extends beyond your shores. We are our own people. We can run our own show. The base level reason for changing is base level dignity and pride in our own people that we can do this. I am particularly delighted that our friend in the front row is here, because because this is historical ground. People have been meeting here and discussing, and there's been dickheads crying out in the front row for 150 years. And it's terrific. It's terrific. And there's been plenty on the podium. But the difference is I'm a professional dickhead. You're an amateur dickhead. And the wonderful thing, for 150 years we've been discussing ideas in this very spot. And Australia has evolved from being a colony in the South Seas, from Britain in the South Seas, towards being our own people. And at every step along the way, every step of this evolution, there have been nervous Nellies and Nettie naysayers, good to see you Nettie, who've been saying we can't, we won't, we shouldn't, it's not safe, we can't do this. So in the 1890s, the move came towards federation. Instead of being 6 colonies, let's form up and be our own nation. The nervous Nellies and the Nettie naysayers, come on, play the part. The Nettie naysayers called out, we can't, we won't, we shouldn't. But Nettie, that's it. The ghost, they said it'll be a dictatorship. It'll all go to hell. Keep going, a little bit more. Can we just organise? I'll just go like that and you shout out something like a dickhead, okay? So this is what they said in the 1890s. It was done anyway. Then the idea came up, listen, if we're going to have our own nation, maybe we should have our own flag apart from the Union Jack. The nervous Nellies and the Nettie naysayers shouted out, come on, say something. They shouted out, we can't, we won't, we shouldn't. It was done anyway. In the 1920s, somebody put forward an extraordinary view, okay? It was the Prime Minister of Australia, Stanley Bruce, and he was talking about the Governor-General. He put out this extraordinary view. Listen, seeing as we are Australians living in Australia, do you think that maybe our Governor-General should be, call me crazy, an Australian instead of a warmed-over English general or an aristocrat? Why don't we have an Australian? 250,000 Australians, all of them, nervous Nellies, Nettie naysayers, said, we can't, we won't, we shouldn't. They said, We Australians can't come up with our own Governor-General. If we don't have an English general or an English aristocrat, God knows who we'll have for a Governor-General. 250,000 Australians signed a petition to King George, said we can't, we won't, we shouldn't, it's not safe. For Christ's sake, it was done anyway. In the 1960s, the next revolutionary idea was put up. Tell you what, seeing as we're Australians, living in Australia, and writing letters to each other as fellow Australians, do you think instead of having a stamp with the image of the Queen of England every single time, call me crazy, but do you think we maybe should have some Australian symbols, some boomerangs, the Uluru, all echidnas, koalas? Absolute outcry. The nervous Nellies and the netty naysayers said, we can't, we won't, we shouldn't, it's not safe, it's disrespectful to the Queen. It was done anyway. In the 1970s, Gough came up with the next revolutionary idea. And the idea was about the Privy Council. Gough's idea was that we Australians can run our own show, that we don't, our own judges are as good as the English judges. We don't need to have an appeal to the High Court, to the Privy Council. There was an absolute outcry from the netty naysayers and the nervous Nelly saying we can't, we won't, we shouldn't. It was done anyway. At every step along the way, when there's been the last step to take, the next step to take, there's always been this outcry by people who have not sufficiently reflected upon it. If you reflect upon... Oh, you're a bit late. I think we've all heard your views, mate. Oh, no, 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So what I want you to focus on, Lucy, you particularly, I particularly spot you on your side because I know you're with us. I know, come on, you are with us, and I'd invite you to come over and sit with us at the end. Okay, but look at the situation now. All three of you, a lot of people here, I'll take you out of it. Look at your children and your grandchildren. How ludicrous is it right now that your niece, Esmeralda, she's 19 years old, she's smart, she's accomplished. You know her, you love her. How smart and accomplished is Esmeralda? At the moment, Esmeralda can aspire to do anything in this world, bar one thing. She can aspire to win the Oscar for Best Actress at the age of 25. She can cure cancer at the age of 30. She can give us peace in the Middle East by the age of 34. She can rid us of Pauline Hanson by the age of 40. She can accomplish great, great things, Lucy. But one thing that Esmeralda, as a young Australian, can't aspire to, she can't aspire to be the head of state of her own country. Why? Because she's an Australian. And our Constitution says little Australians cannot aspire to be the head of state of their own country because that job is reserved for a family of English aristocrats. Hashtag for sake. Seriously, think about this as a people. Be proud. Have dignity. Think about this. It's time to run our own show. Lucy, come and sit with us. You too, Ben. Satya, come on.
Yes, excellent. All right. All right, we come to the point in the afternoon where we have to vote for who has convinced us. Who's with Team Monicus? Make some noise. A little bit more, a little bit more. Who's with Team Republican? Okay. All right, can we just very, very quickly thank all our speakers who've done a great job today. Can we hear it for all our speakers? Ella and Seamus, Benjamin, Lucy, Satya, Peter. If you like what you see here, jump onto our Facebook page, Speakers Corner 2.0. It's been a fantastic afternoon. Give yourself one more big round of applause. Thanks for coming.